My guest is Claire Williams, Director of Programs for the Seniors Association.
Hi, Donna.
Hi, nice to see you back again.
Nice to be here again.
All right.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, my pleasure, always. Lots going on last season, and you're already planning for what's coming up.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Huge things happening. I guess our biggest news really is that we are starting up programs in Loyalist Township. So this is in partnership with the township themselves, and we're going to be offering 1 day a week at each of Amherst View, Bath, Odessa, and Wilton from 9 to 3, 1 day a week in each of those locations. So that's our biggest news right now. We're starting that just at the end of this month.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Right.
Huge things happening.
And they're interesting programs. It isn't just one thing. There's 4 or 5 different programs that you're going to be offering at each one of these days.
Try to give a bit of a selection. You know, we're hoping to get people's interests piqued. Of course, I'm always open to new ideas, but a little bit of art, a little bit of fitness, a little bit of music, a variety of things, just to see where we are when as we start up.
And the nice thing is 1 day a week, because these communities aren't that far away from each other.
Right.
So in fact, it's not that if you live in Wilton, well, you're limited to that 1 day a week. It's easy to travel to Bath.
It's easy to travel to any of these locations.
Absolutely.
Really. They're not far from each other. So you could be busy 4 days a week.
Absolutely, without getting too far away from home, but having them the way into Kingston.
Yep.
So that's a really good idea.
And that's part of our mandate, is to offer programs closer to people's homes so that they have the same opportunities as, say, people who live downtown or in the West End.
Well, us seniors don't like driving, and especially in our winters, it can be a little harsh, and you can get a couple of blocks, but driving on that highway. So good idea.
Yeah.
Good idea.
Yeah, we're very excited about it.
And you've got other things coming up at the one on Francis Street, the main center.
We always have something on the go. So next week on the 25th, we have our fashion show, Clothing by Cloth Clothing from downtown. And it's a charcuterie and wine event. So you get a glass of wine and some charcuterie and some sweet nibbles, and you get to see all of the latest fashions from cloth.
Nice.
Yeah, and there are tickets still available for that, and they're $40 a person.
Okay, that sounds like a fun evening.
Yeah, it should be. And then in May, we're starting something completely new. We are doing Feuding Families.
Oh, no.
So it is a true game show night, complete with set that looks exactly like that classic game. And so we invite people to submit teams of 4. They don't have to be families. It doesn't have to be family members. It can be friends, it can be neighbors, it can be whoever you want. Teams of 4, and there will be prizes. We are going to have a pub type meal, and that's $35 per person.
Now that sounds like fun.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. The company came to us, and I didn't know this existed. It's
a new one on me.
I just jumped on it immediately. It just looked like so much fun.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And you stay fairly active over the summer. I know that wasn't always, you thought people, well, they don't want to be inside in the summer, but you found out differently.
Yeah, and I mean, it did used to be much quieter in the summer, but as we grow, we are offering more programs in the summer. I mean, people don't want to be outside all the time. There's, it gets hot and people want to do stuff inside. So we always have a pretty good complement of summer programs going. We bring everything back to the main location on Francis Street, with the exception of pickleball, which will be happening at the Royal Kingston Curling Club.
Oh.
Yeah, so we do indoor pickleball. We've done it there for the last, I want to say 4 or 5 years.
Okay, so you don't use the boys girls club
we
so
don't
much.
Because they do camps over the summer.
Of course.
So most of our off-site locations do other events or children's camps, and so we bring everything back to the mothership, as we like to call it, on Francis Street. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And are you already planning for the fall? Or
I am deep into the planning for the fall. With the Loyalist Township locations being added, we also recently added the Spire downtown, Sydenham Street United Church. And we are going to be going into St. Andrews by the Lake United Church. So it's a giant jigsaw puzzle that we're putting together right now. Right now we're running 240 programs.
Wow, that's amazing.
And I anticipate it's going to be closer to 300 by the fall.
You know, something we've never talked about is how do you find people and programs, and if somebody out there had something, how do they go about doing? I've never talked to you about that.
Send me an email. Send me an email. Call the center. I find people in different ways. I mean, I've been doing this long enough now that people often come to me. But if somebody comes to me with an idea for a program and doesn't have an actual instructor for it, then I do what a lot of people do. I Google. I look at other organizations in Kingston that might have such, Queens, St. Lawrence, that might have people who are experts on a certain topic. And I send out a lot of emails. And I use contacts. I use people I know. But as I say, a lot of them come to me now, which is really great. And I always love talking to people about new program ideas.
Are there any that are there any guidelines there, things that you kind of stay away from that you?
Not really. I'm kind of famous for trying just about anything when it comes to programming. Okay. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it's no great loss. I like to push the boundaries a little bit. I think assuming that seniors don't want to talk about certain things is the wrong assumption to make.
It is.
We just had a whole series on psychedelics, which was very, very well attended.
I went to it,
and
I learned a lot.
Yeah, and I think that you can't make assumptions about what seniors want to hear about.
I think the biggest surprise I had sitting there in those lectures is how many people openly stood up and said, well, I use cannabis. Yep. And I, the first time I thought, oh, interesting. And then I was surprised how many people just openly disclosed it in an audience.
I know. I was shocked at the number of people that we got. I really wasn't sure whether this one would fly. But I thought it's a very topical topic at the moment. Yes. It's quite big. So yes. I was pleased with that. And so we're having a speaker come in to talk about MAID sometime in the next few months. I think that's a really important topic.
It is.
I don't often turn things away.
MAID being medical assistance in dying.
Yes, sorry, yes.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
I don't often turn things down.
Okay, good to know, good to know. Because I wonder, sometimes people have something they think, oh, that's not something anybody'd be interested in, but wow, yeah. Yeah. So you would consider, all right.
It's worth an email or a phone call to me, and I'm always happy to sit down and talk about new ideas. With this many locations, I need new ideas. I need to be constantly reaching out and coming up with new programs.
Right. So if there's something you're passionate about and you want to share that.
Absolutely. And it doesn't have to be something that you did for a living. It doesn't have to be something that you are an expert on. If you are interested in it, and even if you wanted to lead a discussion group on a certain topic, there are so many different ways that you can do a program.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to know that Later Life Learning is coming back in the fall.
Later Life Learning will be back in the fall, yes.
That I really enjoy. I used to do it before you guys took it over. And so it's like Friday mornings and always interesting.
Yeah. So we have the first topics lined up for the fall are global events, global conflicts. We haven't actually come up with a title for it yet, but I have quite a number of Queen's professors and RMC professors lined up to talk about different countries and different conflicts. And then we're doing artificial intelligence as the next one.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I'm always looking for ideas for that as well. So if people want to hear about a certain topic, or if they know somebody who's a very good speaker who would fit, please give me a call or send me an email.
You don't have to be a Queen's prof.
You don't have to be a Queen's prof. Absolutely not. No, no.
Wow. Exciting.
It's hard to keep it all in my head.
I just bet it. I bet it is.
Yeah.
So if people would like to know more about upcoming programs or running a program themselves that they'd like to pitch it to you,
yeah.
How can they get in touch with you?
Easiest email is programs@seniorskingston.ca, or you can give us a call at 613-548-7810.
Sounds great. Thank you very much for coming in.
Thank you, Donna. Okay. Good to see you again.
Nice to see you.